Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, says the mass failure recorded in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, is proof that efforts to curb exam malpractice are yielding results. His comment follows national outcry over JAMB revealed that only about 420,000 out of 1.95 million candidates scored above 200, meaning overall 78% fell below the benchmark, appearing... pardon me, please. Tunji Alausa, JAMB's restricted computer-based testing system has made cheating nearly impossible. That's a big concern, and its reflection on exams being done the proper way, he said. The minister contrasted JAMB's integrity with WAEC and NECO, which he said still face widespread fraud through miracle centers. He announced that both WAEC and NECO will begin transitioning to computer-based testing by November of 2025. Starting with objective questions, we have to use technology to fight this fraud, he added. Alausa warned that malpractice erodes academic integrity and corrupts diligent students. The worst part of cheating is that it desensitizes the hardworking ones, he went ahead to say. He reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to enforcing digital solutions that will restore credibility to Nigeria's examination and admissions system. You know, for the whole of the week, there's been a buzz as regards the mass failure, you know, of students during the last JAMB exercise. Let's get your thoughts as regards this story.
For me, the failures, at least I remember when this computer stuff came up newly, when it has to do with JAMB, number one, there are a lot of centers that network is not okay. There are a lot of centers that their computers are malfunctioning. And then we also know that when it has to do with anything online, anything technology, there could be glitches. So before they begin to say it's because of malpractice, they should check their systems well. Now,
this last JAMB actually had a mock exam before the main exam, and that mock preparation was to prepare, you know, students on how to use the CBT, the computer-based test.
My issue is not students knowing how to use the CBT. Okay. You can get there that day, and network will mess you up. And the problem is this: is that even JAMB and their officials will not even be truthful to themselves. Why? Because to a large extent, this number of failures means that more people are going to buy JAMB next year. So for me, why I don't trust their statistics and why I don't trust that they are trying to do the right thing is because it's more money for them when people fail. In the moment to remove that profit part, I can trust what they want to do, anything they are saying.
Now, all of this failure, you think it's due to JAMB, or you think it's because of the students were not better prepared for the examination?
Let me ask this question. Why will I take JAMB, and after taking JAMB, I'll still come and write post UME in my school? Now I pass JAMB, then I now fail post UME in the school I want to get into. That automatically denies me admission. Now I'll come back to JAMB again the next year. It just tells you that there's something not right. There's somebody just intentionally creating a system where they just keep ripping people off. For me, if I have opportunity of getting into any institution that has to do with being Commissioner of Education, there are certain parastatals that I will probe and standardize their operations. JAMB is one of them. I know that there are malpractices.
But you know,
look at the number.
He thinks because of the implementation, the strategies they've put in place to manage or mitigate, malpractices. That is why we have lots of students failing.
They are pushing forward malpractices to be able to cover the lapses during these exams.
You think there are lapses during this exam?
It's not like, do I think would we always have? This is computer we're talking about. Anybody that is into tech knows, even you that is talking to me right now, you can wake, there are some days you wake up and your phone just refuses to work. This is the phone you just used last night and plugged, and after a while the phone comes back again. Sometimes you put on your network, you've been using the internet, all of a sudden network just goes down. So we know these things. So you cannot tell me that the only reason why we have this poor this poor result is 100% on malpractices. No. if they had come now to say, to break it down and be accountable that, okay, 500 persons failed because of lack of poor network. Okay, 10 million persons failed because we found out that they couldn't compute correctly. Then this number of persons failed because we are suspecting malpractice. I can accept. Then we can now begin to bargain and say, okay, these ones that failed because of network malfunction or because of one or two of these, can they be given a discount when they are buying JAMB form again, or can they be asked to rewrite in another center? We can now see what we can do about that. Then this one that we are sure that failed, because you have to give me proof that it is fraud. There's no proof. You just said that the low whatever was because since you started this, you are now assuming that it's cracking down on malpractice. How? It's even easier to do malpractice with computer-based self than even when you were doing it manual.
Usually in institutions of learning, when there is a mass failure, it's usually said that the teacher is usually called in to act. The teacher will be called in to say, did you teach this student properly? Now, let's talk about education systems. Do you think that the students were well prepared for this JAMB examination?
Whoa, the challenge is still what I'm still talking about, profit. Some schools are pushing seriously to make sure that, we fielded in, let's say, 300 students and all of them passed their JAMBs. So parents, this is the school to send your children to. Now the question is, those children that all passed, did they do it from their head? I remember those days when, that should be the youth service, right? Yes. They told me, the school then said that they were going to pay us to solve questions.
Right.
I refused. They said, I'm sorry, I won't do that. I've taught the children. Why would I come and now solve the questions for them? What kind of nonsense is that? I didn't do it.
Well,